HOA, Karen called 911. During my move-in, then found out I own. The entire lakefront block. The moving truck had barely stopped when the shouting started. I stepped out of my pickup and looked across the quiet lakefront street. The morning sun reflected off the water, and the air smelled like fresh pine and lake breeze. After 15 years of saving and working double shifts, I had finally bought my dream property, a peaceful lakefront block where I planned to start a new chapter of my life. But apparently, peace wasn't on everyone's agenda. A woman marched down the sidewalk toward me like she owned the entire neighborhood. Perfect blonde hair, oversized sunglasses, clipboard in hand. The classic neighborhood enforcer. "Excuse me," she snapped before I could even greet her. "What exactly do you think you're doing here?" I blinked, slightly confused. Moving in?" Her lips tightened into a thin line. "You can't just move trucks into this neighborhood without HOA approval," she said sharply. "This community has rules." I glanced back at the movers carrying boxes toward the house. "Well, I bought the property," I replied calmly. She scoffed. "No, you didn't. I know everyone who lives on this lakefront," she said, folding her arms. "And I definitely would have heard if someone like you bought property here." Someone like me. I ignored the comment and pulled out my phone. "Look, ma'am, everything is legal. The closing was finalized yesterday," but she wasn't listening. Instead, she stepped back and dialed her phone dramatically. "Yes, hello? I need police assistance," she said loudly enough for the entire street to hear. "There's an illegal moving operation happening in our HOA neighborhood." The movers stopped and exchanged confused looks. I just sighed. Within 15 minutes, a police cruiser rolled up to the curb. The officer stepped out and approached us calmly. "What seems to be the problem here?" The woman immediately jumped in. "Officer, these people are trespassing," she said, pointing at me like I was a criminal. "They brought a moving truck into a restricted HOA community without authorization." The officer turned to me. "Sir, do you live here?" I reached into my folder and handed him the documents. "Yes, officer. I purchased the property yesterday." He flipped through the papers slowly. His eyebrows rose slightly. Then he looked at the woman. "Ma'am, these documents show he owns the property." Her smug smile didn't fade. "That's impossible," she insisted. "The lakefront homes are part of our HOA. No one buys here without our approval." The officer cleared his throat. "Well, according to these records, he didn't just buy the house." He paused. "He bought the entire lakefront block." The street went silent. The woman blinked rapidly. "What?" The officer handed the papers back to me.